Freddie Kitchens is an offensive coach. He hired Todd Monken to be his offensive coordinator. Monken talked about working with Kitchens, the team chemistry on offense, as well as getting a chance to coach Baker Mayfield firsthand.
You know, you're going to have a preconceived notion like a lot of players, just like when I was in Tampa with Jameis. You can have a preconceived notion from the outside of what you think someone is, and rarely is that really who they are. And so, you know, at the core, from a competitive nature standpoint, I've said this many times, he is what I thought he was, and I didn't have probably any other than he likes to have fun, he loves to play football, but don't confuse that with, you know, that he just clowns around, because he doesn't. It's important to him, it's important in the meetings, he asks great questions, he wants to be on the same page, he wants to be elite, and that's, when you're that way, I mean, you're all these guys are elite players, but he's at the top of that group.
How would you describe or characterize his grasp of kind of the melded offense between you and Freddie?
Oh, it's fine, because it's important to him to ask. So he hates gray, you know, but he loves taking control. So that's the good thing, is how do you have structure yet allow him the freedom, which I've been around when we've been really good. It's you're giving your quarterbacks and your skill guys the freedom to see what they see and change things at the line of scrimmage and empower them to be a huge part of the offense, which he loves that part of it. So it fits in my world, it fits in Freddie's world. That's why I wanted to be here for, you know, Freddie and I specifically being on the same page of how you would go about game planning and the empowerment you give to a quarterback, and a guy that embraces that. And Drew Stanton's the same way. You know, you've got some guys that really want that. Not every guy wants that. Not every guy wants that responsibility.
There was a report after minicamp that transition with you wasn't as smooth. Do you have any comment on that? Have you felt welcomed, and is the role what you expected it to be?
I mean, I don't even know really how to answer that, other than for any assistant coach, your role is to do what the head coach asks you to do. Whatever we do offensively, it's the Cleveland Browns offense. It's not anything to do, it's what we do. So there's not any place I've ever been where there's not differing opinions. You're building an offense, you're working through it. I don't know where that comes from. It really doesn't bother me, because I know what we have in the building. I don't know, it's not coming from my end. I can't, you know, Freddie already addressed it. To me, it's been great. You know, you're gonna have, to me, when someone says Freddie's more involved, that's silly. I mean, he's the head coach and he's going to call the plays. I don't get that. It makes no sense to me. When I was at Oklahoma State, guess who was involved? Mike Gundy. When I was at Tampa, guess who was involved? Dirk Cutter. It's silly. Absolutely silly.
Todd, if the offense functions like you want it to, with all the talent around, do you think it'll be fun to watch? Do you think it'll be entertaining? And if so,
God, I hope so.
I mean, like,
I've been around when it's not fun, and that's awful for coaching. So I know I cut you off. Sorry about that.
No, but if it is that important to you? If it is fun to watch?
Oh, I don't. God, that's kind of a crazy question, because the normal answer would be, nah, we do what you need to do to score, you know, and win enough, and you don't have to be that way. But, you know, in the end, I think it should be fun. I think it should be fun to watch. I think we have really good skilled players. I don't think, you know, we're going to be in a position to where you think, okay, wow, we're going to have to protect the defense. We're going to have to run it. And if we punt, we punt. And, you know, believe me, I'm all for 10-7 games. And if that's what it takes, and I'm all for if you have to score more. But ultimately, the fun in what I like is exciting plays, getting your playmakers in space. And it should be fun. That's what it should be. It should be fun for our players to utilize all of your skilled players. To me, that's balance. It's not run pass. It is, do you have enough skilled players? Touching the ball is balance. Using the whole field is balance, in my mind.
At this point, have you and Freddie totally figured out how you're meshing your offenses, or is it like constantly tweaked, or is it?
Well, it's not really a mesh. It's the Browns offense, and Freddie was here last year. So I think that's a little bit of a misnomer to say, okay, we're meshing it, in the fact that everywhere I've been, we mesh ideas. If that makes sense. So whether or not, like last year at Tampa, for instance, we have what we do base-wise, but in the off-season you study things and you collectively put it together, and that's what we were going to be. So here it's the same way. Freddie has ideas. Obviously he got the job because of who he is as a coach and a man, also offensively. So you're just taking that okay, what now that we have a chance to install, what do we want to do? So to say that meshing it is, it's what they did before. Now everybody has ideas. James Campen has ideas, and different coaches. Ryan Lindley's in a different position. We all have different ideas. The key is ultimately whoever, head coach, play caller, ultimately someone has to decide, this is what we're doing. That's it. At the end of the day, everybody has ideas. On every staff, everybody has ideas, but there can only be one chief, and there's got to be a lot of really good Braves. That's the way it works. I mean, that's it.